Did you know that the origin of the name Armenia is uncertain, but there are a few theories that have been proposed? One theory is that the name Armenia comes from the name of the legendary patriarch of the Armenians, Hake. Hake is said to have defeated the Babylonian king Bel in 2492 BC and established his nation in the Ararat region. Another theory is that the name Armenia comes from the Urartian word Armeni, which means inhabitant of Arm or Armenian country. The Arm tribe of Urartian texts may have been the Urumu, who in the 12th century BC attempted to invade Assyria from the north with their allies the Mushki and the Kaskians. The Urumu apparently settled in the vicinity of Sasan, lending their name to the regions of Arm and the nearby lands of Erm and Inner Urumu. The name Armenia is first attested in the Old Persian Behistun inscription of Darius the Great, 522 to 486 BC, where it is spelled as Armena. The name is also mentioned in the works of Greek and Roman historians, such as Herodotus, Strabo, and Pliny the Elder. The name Armenia has remained in use throughout history, and it is the official name of the country today. Did you know that the origin of the name Azerbaijan is a complex issue, and there is no single definitive answer? However, there are a few theories that have been proposed. One theory is that the name Azerbaijan comes from the Persian words Aza and Bajan, which mean fire and protector, respectively. This theory is supported by the fact that Azerbaijan has a long history of Zoroastrianism, a religion that venerates fire. Another theory is that the name Azerbaijan comes from the name of the Median general Atrapates, who was appointed by Alexander the Great to govern the region after his conquest of Persia. This theory is supported by the fact that the region was once known as Atropatene. A third theory is that the name Azerbaijan comes from the Turkic word Azer, which means eagle. This theory is supported by the fact that the eagle is a national symbol of Azerbaijan. Did you know that the origin of the name Georgia is uncertain? However, there are a few theories that have been proposed. One theory is that the name Georgia comes from the Persian word Gurg, which means wolf. This theory is supported by the fact that Georgia was once known as Iberia to the Romans, and Iberia is thought to come from the Iberian Peninsula, which is also known as Wolf Country. Another theory is that the name Georgia comes from the Greek word gamma epsilon omega gamma, Georgos, which means farmer. This theory is supported by the fact that Georgia has a long history of agriculture, and it is one of the world's leading producers of wine and other agricultural products. A third theory is that the name Georgia comes from the name of Saint George, a Christian martyr who is revered in Georgia. This theory is supported by the fact that Saint George is the patron saint of Georgia, and his image is depicted on the Georgian flag. The name Russia comes from the Old East Slavic word, Rus, which refers to the Rus people, a group of Varangians who settled in the region in the 9th century AD. The Rus people established the Kievan Rus, a powerful state that ruled over much of present-day Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus. The name Russia was first used to refer to the entire region in the 15th century AD. The name was adopted by the Grand Duchy of Moscow, which eventually became the Tsardom of Russia and then the Russian Empire. The name Russia was officially adopted by the Soviet Union in 1922. The Soviet Union was a communist state that ruled over much of Eastern Europe and Central Asia. The name Russia continued to be used after the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. The Russian Federation is the current successor state to the Soviet Union, and it is the largest country in the world by land area. The name Russia is a reflection of the country's rich history and culture. The name is also a symbol of the Russian people's resilience and their determination to build a better future for their country.